Hi, I'm Randy Darby, Senior Service Technician with TJ Snow Company. Today we'd like to talk about weld force, one of the main variables in the resistance welding process. When physical force is applied to two or more thicknesses of metal, electrical resistance is created. This in turn affects how much heat is generated during the weld. Therefore, it's critical that force be stable and consistent in the interest of providing a repeatable process. The squeeze time is a function of the weld control, designed to wait a programmed period of time before the weld to allow force to stabilize. However, it is solely timer-based. If set too low, the weld will fire prematurely under an unstable force. As the illustration shows, the force curve has not yet peaked and current is being applied prematurely, resulting in potential weld expulsion and process variability. If the squeeze time is too long, it will result in excessively long cycle time and lost production. As the illustration shows, the force curve has peaked, but current has been applied much later as a result of the excessive squeeze time. To this end, TJ Snow offers the Accustart system by Unitrol Electronics. Accustart utilizes a solid-state differential pressure transducer to monitor force within prescribed limits as determined by the end user. By monitoring both sides of the air cylinder, any back pressure will be subtracted from the weld force, ensuring that the system is only satisfied when actual tip force is achieved. This also takes into account flow controls or any such device that might restrict airflow in the system. It can also be used to trigger the weld based on actual force instead of squeeze time. The illustration shows that force has peaked and current is applied shortly thereafter because we are using the actual force reading to trigger the weld with minimal squeeze time. At only 8 inches by 3.5 inches by 5 inches, Accustart enjoys a low profile and is easily mounted to new or existing resistance welders. Accustart is also supplied with a key lock, so the settings, once programmed, can be locked if desired. Once the unit is mounted, 120 volt power must be supplied to the unit within earth ground by the end user. Furthermore, pneumatic air lines supplied must also be installed on both the feed and return side of the air cylinder. The majority of weld controls are provisioned with a pressure switch input. Accustart provides a relay output that must serve as an input to the weld control's pressure switch. Once this input is satisfied, it represents that force has been achieved and it's okay to weld. A second optional relay output is available from Accustart in the event of a high force limit condition. This output can be supplied to a device of the end user's choosing to respond to the fault as necessary. Once the unit is installed, there is a bypass use switch on the rear of the enclosure. In the bypass position, Accustart is essentially turned off. The machine can be operated as it was prior to installation. In the use position, the unit will power on, indicated by the green power on light. The leftmost display represents a real-time force reading as the machine runs its sequence. Next is the set pressure window. With the key lock in the set position, program the desired weld pressure in the set pressure window utilizing the plus-minus keys. The standard gauge on a manual regulator may have an error of as much as 3 psi. Therefore, the Accustart set pressure should be adjusted 1 to 2 psi below the indicated analog pressure gauge setting to ensure force is achieved. When force is achieved, the green W light will illuminate and the weld sequence will proceed. The final display is for setting the force high limit. A high limit condition is indicated by the H indicator light on the Accustart display. Accustart offers, in a slightly larger enclosure, the option of an electronic regulator. If this option is purchased, once the set pressure value is established, the electronic regulator will mirror this setting. If you have questions about the Accustart system, contact our inside sales team or visit us online at tjsnow.com.